Hey there, welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and you are joining me for 30 days of Christmas ornaments. Probably you're in the middle somewhere, in which case there's days that preceded this and there are going to be days that follow. So like, subscribe if you want to be kept in the loop, or just watch the one. You know, it's up to you. We're going to do, I have an idea for a little angel ornament. I haven't done an angel ornament yet in the series, and I have to admit, it kind of came out of these acorns. So I had this little baggie of acorns from the dollar store. Never had a chance to use them, but I kind of think they look like a head. It's the way my head works. Sorry. So it started with this. You'll see where it's going. And hopefully it looks cute. I'm going to pull you in overhead and we're going to get started. All right. Now, to use this, because we're going to use it with some air-dried clay. So I have IOD air-dried clay that I sell on the website, queenbeecreationshome.com, or use a clay of your choice. I want to use this as an ornament. So I need to have some kind of a wire coming out the top to be able to hang it from. And I want to have a little bit of a wire down in this section to insert this into the clay. So to do this, what I have is, this is my drilling block. This is where I test the hole sizes of my drill bits to see if they're going to fit my hardware. This is where when I'm drilling things I drill down into. It's just all purpose. What I do have is I have a hole there that I can kind of balance this in. And I have my drill on like the very tiniest little bit that I have. And I'm just going to drill a partial hole. I don't need to go all the way through, which is good because my bit isn't long enough. But I just want it to go down in partly, and then I'll reverse it and I will do a partial hole going down in here that I'm going to be able to insert my wires in. So just so you know, because this gets noisy, I'm going to cut that out of the picture just so you don't have to listen to that. I just want to get it roughly in the center. Okay, super simple, super quick, which is cool. I like those options. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of wire that I'm going to insert in here. Now what I will do is I will take some hot glue to do that. This part for the top is going to be easiest if I just kind of create a little bit of a loop for it. And this is pretty tough wire, so I'm just getting my fingers out of there. I want it to be nice and straight, and just curve it around, cut this off, and then we're good to go. I just want to squeeze these together so that I can have the two. All right, so I'm just going to get these glued. That glue blob was too. There we go. There. So that's deep enough and it's long enough. I just want this long enough that I can insert it into my clay. I'm going to get the top glued. And then what I am going to do is paint the entirety of this white. I'm just going to be using a white acrylic paint. Use the paint of your choice, but I just want it sealed, so that's one less step for me. Always looking for it to be as easy as possible for me. And then, and then I'm just going to set it off to dry. Now that my little head has dried, I just want to, before I'd be affixing it into anything, just kind of finish it off a little bit. So I'm just taking a chrome marker, and I think that this little piece up here, if I just do kind of like a gold band, it's sort of kind of is reminiscent of a halo. So again, fits into the angel theme. Now you could take gold paint, you could do a gold wax, you could just ignore this step entirely. Your little angel is your angel. You do what you choose. But we just have a little gold band. Now, you could give her hair, you could do anything that you want. I have one that I did, and I just did lavender flowers on the top. I'm gonna leave one plain so that I have options. And I'm just taking some markers and I'm just giving her a face. So those are just pink cheeks. And let me see, there's a little black. So I'm gonna give her a little nose. Just some little eyelashes. And I think I'll give her a little smile. So there's our little angel head. Now we need to work on the body. So for this, I'm going to take some air dry clay. I'm just going to put a little bit of a silicone sheet down just to make my life a little bit easier here. And again, use the clay of your choice. And I just want to roll this out a bit. And for this, I don't want it too small, like too thin. I do want it a little chunky. And I'm just going to take a heart-shaped cookie cutter. So whatever size works for you and works for whatever head you're using. I mean, I use those little acorns. You could just use a little round bead. So I just want to pop this out. I'm just going to kind of lightly smooth the edges. I am going to, take a stamp, and I'm just taking, oh my goodness. For one of these, let me get a spiky one. I'm gonna take from the snowflake stamp from IOD. And I'm just going to put it on partially. And I do have, let me see, a little open weave doily. So just want to give you some options. And put that on partially. And I'm just going to gently roll those in. And you can do this before you press do your cutout shape as well, which may have been a smarter move. Do it first. But there we go. We've got a little bit of texture on them. And what we're looking at doing, I do anticipate that these will come out tomorrow and I'll have to glue them in place. but what I want is just that hole to stay the right size. So I'm going to put the heads in, leave them to dry in place, and then tomorrow, when that clay is dry, we'll come in and we'll finish our little angels. These have had a chance to dry. Now, one of the things that I did do was just to give it something, I glued on some little lavender buds. And then I happened to find, I was looking all over for these little teeny tiny flowers. And I glued them onto the top of her head. Now you could do whatever you want for her hair. You could actually leave them so that there is no hair. Totally up to you. Now that these have dried, I had been debating whether or not I was going to do maybe a little bit of gold wax down in the patterns. But I've decided that I actually like them left plain, and rather than painting the clay, I like it the matte, so I'm leaving that. So in order to bring a little bit of that gold color down to the body, I took little wooden hearts from the dollar store and I used my gold marker to gold them up. And I'm just going to stick this down just right in the front. So it's the same color gold as the halo, and it just sort of ties that in, brings that down so it's not totally stark white. And in order to be able to make these look like they're angels, we need to give them some wings. So I'm going to take a little bit of wire. So this is very thin, very flexible wire. And I have this kind of sparkly little ribbon. I didn't want a solid ribbon. I wanted something that was a little bit light and something that, again, kind of brought in the gold. And so I'm just looking to tie this, and I just want to get an idea of size there. Just a tinch bigger. And I'm going to tie it with my wire. You could just use string. I just find this really thin, flexible wire very easy to manipulate. I'm just going to twist it closed, squish it flat, and cut off the excess. And get rid of the excess of the tie as well. And now, because they're wings, I am going to cut off the tails, right? Otherwise they look a little bit more like butterfly wings. And I'm going to take the bad side, and that's the side that I'm going to glue onto the back of my angel. And I'm just going to leave her to dry before I kind of zhuzh it all out. All right. So here's our finished little angels, the one with the lavender hair, the other with the little pink, the little florals. I love these. They're just super cute, nice and simple, but kind of different looking. Great use for any of those leftover acorns. But no, you could use like a wooden round as well for the head. I just thought that the shape lent itself well to painting out that halo on top, which is the whole reason I use those as opposed to the wooden rounds. Looking forward to your comments on these ones, guys, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care.